Right, Pakistan Cricket Board seems to be listening to its disgruntled and frustrated cricket fans back home. They do not want to bow down to the ICC just yet, and by that extension, India too, all that easily. There were a couple of meetings that ICC held over the weekend. In fact, PCB officials were in Dubai to hold some conversations regarding the future of the Champions Trophy. What we hear, of course, is that Pakistan is now open to the hybrid model for the ICC Champions Trophy that's going to take place next year in 2025 in February. Remember, they were adamant on not accepting that for the longest time, but they have said yes to the hybrid model. But they have some additional conditions that ICC need to accept and meet if Champions Trophy is to proceed smoothly with that hybrid model setup. Now, a hybrid model in this case would mean all matches for all the other countries, the remaining 7 countries that will take part in the Champions Trophy, barring India, will take place across the 3 Pakistani venues, Lahore, Rawalpindi and Karachi. And India's matches alone will be held in Dubai in the UAE. The PCB now says they won't just agree to this alteration in the hosting plan. They need to get something in return for having compromised and agreed to a demand that their neighbor India has made, that of not traveling to Pakistan for the matches. So what are these demands? What are the requests that Pakistan has? The most important and crucial one is this. The one that ICC will have to weigh in on is Pakistan's demand of hybrid models for all ICC events that India will also host from this point on till 2031, which means if ICC Champions Trophy 2025 has to be a hybrid model, with India's matches being played at a neutral venue outside Pakistan, then Pakistan will also not travel to India during the ICC events that they will host. Just to give you an overview of the ICC events that India is scheduled to conduct in the coming years, let's take a look at those. 2025 is the Women's ODI World Cup. India is set to co-host the T20 World Cup in 2026 with Sri Lanka. That's a year later. And of course, India will also be hosting the Men's Champions Trophy event. That's 3 years later in 2029. And they will also co-host the Men's ODI World Cup along with Bangladesh, if I'm not mistaken, in 2031. That's the list of events that India is set to host according to the FTP and the schedule. So what Pakistan is saying is that for all of those events, their Pakistan cricket teams, men and women, will not travel to India to play any of those matches. Pakistan Cricket Board is clear in their stand that the 2 countries here must be treated equally, especially when it comes to their hosting rights. Now, if ICC is agreeing to India's refusal to travel to Pakistan and enforcing a hybrid model on Pakistan, then the same needs to be applied when India plays host to these events. Now, I get where this comes from. Pakistan wants to reclaim some pride. They don't want to be seen as pushovers. They want to be treated equally, something PCB chief Mohsin Naqvi kept insisting while he was addressing the media last week. That was just days before they met with the ICC. And it's this sense of playing hardball that fans have wanted PCB to do for a while now. However, certain former greats like Shoaib Akhtar have an entirely different view on this.
Once we're able to host the Champions Trophy in our country and they are unwilling to come, they should share the revenue with us at a higher rate. That's a good call. In terms of playing in India in the future, we should extend a hand of friendship and go there. My belief has always been, go to India and defeat them there.
Shoaib Akhtar feels Pakistan should be the bigger person and travel to India. But that's what they did last year at the ODI World Cup in 2023. And the reason Pakistan is now holding firm is because they do not wish to compromise over and over again. But have they been able to control the security situation in their own country before putting their foot down and making such demands before the ICC? That's what the ICC will want to ask and counter their claim of inequality with. India can host ICC events without a glitch because there has been no untoward activities hampering any cricket tournament in the country. No security threats endangering the people. But can Pakistan confidently say the same? That's not the only demand. There's more. Sources say PCB is demanding a larger share of the ICC revenue as compensation for forcing them to hold a hybrid model. If you remember the module, India is getting nearly 40% of that revenue, the ICC share, and PCB is getting somewhere around 6%. It's a vast gap. It doesn't look like ICC can agree to a larger share to Pakistan in this current scenario, which will mean that other boards will have to take a bit of a cut as well, something everyone may not come to terms with or agree upon. In fact, some reports say that ICC has already ordered a compensation value above the hosting fees for this inconvenience that they've caused. And that's how far that they will go. Just over the weekend, Pakistan's under-19 team beat India's under-19 team at the Asia Cup tournament by 43 runs. A very sweet win, but clearly Pakistan wants more. They want ICC to recognize India and Pakistan as equals when it comes to taking decisions related to ICC events, at least. They want to win a battle off the field before the war next year when the two face off at the Champions Trophy. Because let's face it, the match will have to happen somehow. We just are waiting to see how far ICC will be willing to bend backwards to make it happen.